Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to this week's episode of Hendo's Hot Topics. Now, for my guest today, I have Jaxon Tippet. How's it going, brother?
Brother, how are you? Good to connect. I only just found out about you probably a few days ago, and then we're already on a podcast, and that's what I love about this world is we can connect with people literally worldwide and get to know each other and speak our volumes of what we want to the audience.
Yeah, bro, exactly. I said it the other night. I said it to everyone who tuned in, saying, once you do what you love to do and do what you're passionate about, you will attract the right people who are on the same path as you. And this is a perfect example of that, bro. I saw you on Sam's podcast, and I said, I have to give it a go and see if Jackson's keen. And little did I know, a couple of days later, he's here sitting on my podcast talking to me.
Bro, it's actually really crazy how the universe works, and I'm a big believer in it. I believe we are meant to connect for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. And when you focus on good people and you put out good energy, it comes back, man, in many ways. It's crazy.
Yeah, I fully agree, bro. Now, so for everyone who may have not heard of you or come across your path, do you just want to give the viewer or listener a little bit of an insight of who you are, bro, and what you get up to on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, my name's Jaxon Tippet. I'm 27 years of age. I live in Australia, Queensland. Basically, I am a online coach. So, basically, a PT, a personal trainer, but I do it all online. That's my main source of income and my main job. And then on the side, I'm also a podcast host. I'm also a host of a podcast, the I Am Me podcast. And we've got 126 episodes, varying with, tons of different content, to be honest. And then I do a little bit of modeling and brand work on the side. So basically 3 revenues of income and, just trying to put out good, positive messages, tapping into a little bit of guest speaking this year for mental health and stuff like that. And basically just trying to be a good influence to the world and just trying to help people, if that makes sense.
Yep. Now you've definitely got a bit of a variety to your name. There's not a lot of people who are able to juggle as much as you do. So I think my first question for you, bro, is straight off the bat is what was it that made you realize that you could do, personal training, then got you into the podcasting and then got you into the modeling on the side? Like, what was it that made you so motivated to make yourself realize that you could actually succeed and achieve all of that?
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I think it was more like the past I've lived. I don't know how deeply you want to go into it, but I lived a bit of a rough past with steroids and didn't have a job and just wasn't doing anything with my life. And I thought that was kind of living when it wasn't. And it's not until I almost went to jail that I kind of woke up to myself and was like it was a big wake up call. And I was like, there's so much more to life than the life I'm living. And then I started to, surround myself with like-minded people and look up to people that are very successful and doing great things and all of that. And I don't know, it kind of became an addiction. I was like, why can't I be one of those people or be in their shoes? And obviously this didn't just happen overnight. Like, it's been years of consistency and lots of different stuff. But yeah, basically I started to switch my crowd around from the crowd I was hanging with that were partying and doing drugs and all of that kind of stuff that you hear so often, man. I really just shifted my circle to the right type of circle. And you hear it all the time, like, who you hang around with and the 5 people you talk to and look up to is probably the person you'll be in, 5 years and all of that type of stuff. It's fucking true, man. If you're sitting there, and even to the people you follow on Instagram, if you're sitting there and you're waking up on a Monday morning and you're not inspired by the stories you're watching and the feed that you're looking at, you're following the wrong fucking people. And you need to go, remove them and follow people that inspire you.
Yeah, that what you just said there about, pretty much the people you surround yourself with, it's the result to your action. You are what your surroundings are, pretty much. And I think I want to ask you personally, what was the point? Well, you said by surrounding yourself with certain people, well, what was the point before that made you realize, okay, enough is enough. I'm sick of this. I need to do something different for myself.
Yeah, basically when I was about to go to jail due to getting caught with steroids,
Yep.
it was kind of the break point. And I just thought, big wake up call, and I just thought, like I'm so young, I've got so much ahead of me. Like I feel like I've got a lot of talent. Why
Yep.
am I wasting this? Just literally never looked back since, man.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say, well done on your behalf, bro, because there's a lot of people who get caught up in the wrong scene and they get so comfortable with it. But when they get caught, they're like, well, unlucky, I did it to myself. But you actually took that as a chance to refresh, reset, and take it on from a different perspective. And look at how the flowers blossom, bro. You're falling into the category of a well-known model, and you've got a very successful podcast that keeps on rising, and also a personal trainer, which I've been looking at your story for the past couple of days. You have a big following on that. There's a lot of people who are following you, and a lot of people who are actually taking in what you're saying in terms of the fitness side of stuff. And they're not only helping you learn, but you're helping them learn and learning how to love themselves again and accept themselves, and building really good habits for them just from all this bad scenario happening. You realizing, nah, stuff this shit. I need to do something different for my life.
Yeah, man. And that's kind of why I speak so openly about like mindset and all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is I'm not trying to say like I've this hero, but I reckon I've come from the worst of the worst, and I'm no different to anyone else. Like I'm not gifted. I didn't get all of this or whatever you're trying to think. I just literally changed my mindset. I changed my circle. I believed in myself, and I just worked hard. And I believe anyone listening, if you want to change your life around, or if you're in a bad rut, or you're not enjoying your job, or whatever it is, just like don't think you can't change and you can't be one of these people that you look up to, because I guarantee you can.
Yeah, and a piece of advice from you because I actually personally know a lot of people who are in bad crowds, and they almost feel that there's no point trying to better their life, so they might as well just stay with their friends now who are no good for them. So what's a piece of advice that you have, bro, for those who know they're in a bad crowd but don't have enough self-strength to remove themselves?
Just say fuck that and think about where it's going to be, in 10, 20, 30 years time. You're going to be in the exact same position. To me, that's boring as fuck. And I'm all about evolving, and I think life's too short to just be in that same position for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and obviously it's a bit of a silly question, but are you bloody glad you made a decision to change what you're doing and get away from those other people? Like, has there ever been a day where you've thought, what if I didn't do this? What would I've been like if I didn't do this?
Yeah, no, literally not once, man. And that's the whole reason why I'm saying 9 times, I'll say 10 times out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, you will never regret the change.
Yep.
So I think just make it happen. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Now, in the sense of evolving as a person, bro, what's something that you've done where you've felt like you'd never be able to do it, or something that you've done and once you got to that stepping stone, you thought, how the hell did I get here?
Just basically everything I'm doing, man. Like, even for example, the podcast.
Yeah.
I never knew I was going to do a podcast, and then when I did actually decide to record my first episode, I never knew 2 years later I'd be 124 episodes in. Hosting people like Danny Green and Pauline Hanson. And I just think too many people just doubt themselves and limit what they can actually achieve. And I think you really got to believe in yourself and know your worth. And anyone's capable of anything in life if you really put in the work.
Yeah. And so what was, with your podcast, what was it that attracted you to it? What was it that didn't make you stop doing it? Because as you know, bro, the podcasting kind of scene it can be really draining, and sometimes it can be really rewarding, and you can go so long throughout with it that you start to question, is it going to get you anywhere? So 126 episodes in, what was the thing that kept that fire going?
The testimonials and feedback. So people enjoying it and actually getting something out of it.
Yep.
And yeah, just the fact that I can speak more openly and mindly and kind of just share my story, which you can't really do just by pictures and stuff on your Instagram. Yeah. And I think that's the main thing is you hear a different side to someone that you wouldn't. I get very judged off my page due to my image and my tattoo look. And I feel like if I didn't do the podcast, people know me completely differently when they actually hear me speak or they meet me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's so true, bro. I felt the exact same when I shared my story. It's not only a space for you to help others, but I see it as a space for, even with mine, as a space for me to vent as well. It's almost like an own counseling session for myself where I'm actually helping others, which you've found as well. But not only with that, but also your PT, and exactly like that, bro. A lot of people, it's their first impression, judging the book off its cover before they even get to read it. And I bet you so many people who judge you, as soon as they listen to the podcast, that's almost like a smack on the hand, like, how dare myself for doing this. And that's the truth. I've even received messages, bro, and there's a lot of people who know me outside of the podcast, and when say she started listening to the podcast, they're like, bro, I didn't realize you'd been through that stuff, or this had happened. Like, sorry for the way I perceived you.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's that's just the world, man, and it's never going to change. People are always going to judge.
Yeah,
but if they can get to know the real you more than the image or what they think, I think that's a massive thing that should happen.
Yeah, bro. How is, with the circumstances of the world at the moment, how is it over in Aussie? And because I know it's not as good over here, but if it's the same over in Aussie, how do you? Because, bro, motivation on these kind of days are bloody difficult. So how do you keep yourself going, especially with being a PT? Like, not only do you have to keep yourself motivated to motivate others, but you're almost like a role model to all these people who are trying to better themselves as well.
Yeah, man. I literally, my motivation is you right now, the audience, my clients, my family, all of that. So I feed off all of this. If I help someone, or someone fucking loves my content, or they love a podcast, or they see a transformation, or whatever it is, that's literally what keeps me going. And when I have these dark down days, I have them all the time. I probably have them more than you, man.
Yeah.
And I just go, I've come this far. Why the fuck am I going to give in to, all of these people that look up to me? Whether I think they do or not, I know there's a lot of people that do, and that's not making myself sound, ego-ish. It's just, I do know a lot of people respect me, and why the fuck am I going to give in? Like, I'm just going to keep pushing. Everyone has those dark days, but if you can just get up and grind through them, you'll have way many better days than those down days, and you'll keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect piece of advice for you listening. Like, you will have your dark days, but on those dark days, you will actually realize how much you would lose if you let those dark days overtake you. On those dark days, you start to learn a lot about yourself. So even though
if every dark day I had, I just threw in the towel,
yeah,
I would have been done years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, exactly.
That's what I want everyone listening to hear, is it is so normal to have it. But if you can grind through those dark days, it's just a day, it's 24 hours. Mm-hmm. If you can get through that, that's what champions are made of, like literally.
Yeah. And if you can get through those days, trust me now, the amount of times you'll be able to prove yourself wrong, and the kind of mental ability you'll have after powering through those dark days is uncomprehendable. You can't even imagine. It's like a self high. If you wake up the next day after powering through a dark day, the self high feeling is unexplainable. So, as Jaxon said, it's only 24 hours, and for some of you, those 24 hours might be some of the longest. But trust me, if you just work through those 24 hours, that next day you're gonna feel like a completely different person. The world is your oyster.
Yeah, and oh fuck, I forget what I was going to say now. I was going to say something good.
No, you're right.
I can't remember. plug something good, but it'll come back.
Yeah. So I wanna touch back on your growing up, your childhood. It's a random fun question, bro. What do you recall wanting to be when you were older compared to what you are now?
I actually didn't know, man. I really never knew. So I just I was always into sport and I was
Yep.
always into fitness. And I think that's what kind of led into like the personal training is I, I just think fitness is so important.
Mhm.
Basically, I think it is because exercise is like the biggest endorphin and mood enhancer. It's not also that, it's also the biggest, probably, antidepressant out there.
Yep.
So, all these people taking antidepressant drugs and all of this kind of stuff. Probably at the end of the day, all you need to do is get up, get some fresh air, do some exercise, and that'll probably, counteract and take away all of these things that you're actually feeling down about.
Yep. Yeah, that's right, and it's one of those things that it's for a lot of people they even wake up and going for a walk is really difficult, but it's just breaking those habits that is a continuous chain reaction. Continuous cycle that creates a continuous chain reaction. And once you break that habit and do something that's beneficial to you, it's just going to keep on piling up and piling up and piling up, and sooner or later you're going to become your higher self when in a matter of time, just from little tweaks. So as Jaxon said, it's exercise is one of the best things. I don't think exercises you have to go, pump weights for 45 minutes. It could be just a 10-minute walk down your area, going out to the beach for a 5-minute walk or a light jog. Like exercise doesn't have to be as extreme as you think. It's just time to yourself and rejuvenating your body after a busy weekend, a busy week, just connecting your mind back to your body, and then it will really help you. It's easy as a walk. It will really help you in the long term.
Yeah, and that's it's just so simple. Like it really is. And I just think, if people just went up and exercise every day, and
Yep.
then also just watch what they put in their mouth in terms of nutrition. I'm not saying you have to go stick to something that's boring and, these crazy diets. I'm just saying be realistic. Like if, majority of your diet is soft drink, packet food, cigarettes, there's probably a reason you feel shit. Like,
Yeah.
nourish your body with some good food and it'll pay back, in the long run.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, agreed. And yeah, guys, just the little things that turn into the big rewards. Now, Jaxon, bro, I want to ask, from what you can recall, man, what's been one of the biggest mental hurdles you've had to overcome, and how much of a struggle was that?
We probably talked about it, to be honest. Just
Yeah.
trying to face jail time, and
Yeah.
then just all of that type of stuff. And I just basically, man, I removed myself from the crowd. I surrounded myself with good people. I had the support of family and friends. That's when you're
That's it.
having dark days.
Yeah.
Basically, the worst thing you can do is just bottle stuff up and not talk to anyone. That's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is just literally jump on a call with someone, like a good friend.
Yeah.
But that every time you're struggling, that is what got me through. My family, my friends, and just knowing that I have people there and I'm not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. Like it's real fortunate you had the support of your family and friends and you had people to talk to. But in the case in the world we live in, man, people do have people like family and friends they can talk to, but just the society we live in, they think that it's okay. Well, it's not okay to be down. Where a matter of fact, I really like to push that it's okay not to be okay. And the fact that you had family and friends as a prime example is you listening. If you're going through stuff, believe it or not, but you might not think your parents are there for you, but 9 times
They
out of
are.
10, your parents would do anything in this world for you. And
Yeah.
it'll be so. I understand that it might be so hard for you to open up, but even like how I started off, just write your feelings down. That's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just write your feelings down. Write them down in your notes, do voice recordings to yourself. Just slowly start to find ways that you can express your feelings rather than compress them. Because once you start bottling them up, like Jaxon said, you're just going to start tipping over, and you won't find any self love or gain any real self improvement from it. So I'm not saying you have to go have a talk to your parents for a couple of hours. All I'm saying is just be able to find that outlet. Is just write down on notes on your phone, text a friend, just something basic and simple so you can get it off your head.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny you say that. I used to actually think the same. I used to think my parents weren't there for me when I was like in that stage.
Yeah.
And I used to be one of those. I was like, oh no, they don't care. Like, and trust me, like they do. Like they really do. So don't ever say that to yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, bro, if they didn't care, it's like, you wouldn't have a house over your head, and it's the thing, especially as a teenager, there's a lot of things that you think your parents have been dicks for, but then you actually realize they're doing it because they care.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Yeah, bro. And I want to ask you as Jaxon, where do you see Jaxon in the next couple of years? Where do you want to see him?
Just keep helping people, man. Keep
Yeah.
excelling my business. Keep growing the podcast. See if we can take it more worldwide than more like, not that it isn't, but just see how many lives we can impact.
Yeah. And you probably agree, man. As long as it's one person's day, mate, or one person's life change, that's the biggest lottery of doing this. And I really support your podcast. And I watched you on with Sam, and I was just listening to you, bro. And it was almost the way you spoke on it. It's like I was listening to an old mate, and that's how I think it should be when you're speaking about what's going on or what you've been through. Which is why I said to you, just look at it as a conversation, and which is why I chose to get you on, because there's a lot of people who do what we do with a podcast, and they get people on and they really sugarcoat it, and it's not as raw, which is why I want to get you on, because I knew how open you were and how powerful your story was and your messages and how much you want to help people, which is why I asked for you to get on, and you said yes, which was next level hype. At work all day, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I've got to get home. She's like, what? I was like, no, I've got to get home. You'll see. Like, it was such a buzz.
I love that, bro. I really do. And I feel like that's a lot of podcasts, to be honest, is they just kind of want to say what they think the audience wants to hear.
Yeah, man, exactly, bro.
And at the end of the day, like I do listen to a lot of podcasts, but 90% of podcasts out there are shit in my eyes. And it's all just fakeness. Same as Instagram.
Yeah.
I reckon 90% of the audience you could follow is bullshit, but there is that 10% that is just so crazy good that if you follow them, it's just like contagious energy.
Yeah, for sure, and that's why I think, the likes of yourself, myself, and Sam, like the community we're building, bro, especially yours, and I think that's where it's a powerful thing that you've had your PT platform and you've built it off this. You've run on the podcast, because not only you really helping people physically, but now you're also helping them vent. Bro, the thing is, they're probably listening to your podcast while they're working out. So not only are you helping them physically, but you're helping them mentally at the same time, man, which is, it's like killing two birds with one stone. That's next level improvement for the world as itself. And it's already, as I said, there's so many people who are looking up to you in terms of the fitness scene, where they're improving themselves, bro. Like, and they share the results with you, and they're like, oh my God, like, look what I've done. And that must be a bizarre feeling. I'm not sure if you've thought about it, but it must be a bizarre feeling to think, you've got all these people who are improving themselves because of what you've put out there for them, or what you've said to them with your words of encouragement or motivation. Like, that's just a weird thought process in itself.
Yeah, 100%, man. I totally agree. 100%. What's your goals with the podcast?
So goals to my podcast is the same as I started. I'm like you, man. I want to take it international. I really want to make the podcast. I want to make it my living. I really want to do what I can to get international and help as many people as I can, and just spread the message, that it's okay not to be okay, and just break the stigma around mental health that grows around it all day. Because it was only a couple of years ago that I truly became comfortable with my past and what I'd been through, and wanted to open up and help others. And it turned out that there were a lot of people who either had gone through similar scenarios to me, have felt the exact same. I had a couple of people saying, are you reading my mind with what I was saying? Because it's exactly what they've been through. I think that was the moment where, once again, for myself, I realized that us as a whole, we're not really alone as we think we are. And the people who come onto and come on and watch the podcast and tune in, they start to build bonds because they start commenting and other people comment saying, "Oh my god, I felt the same." And I want to make a move. I call it a movement. I want to make Hot Topics a movement and a big community where it's a safe haven. It's a place where people can come tune in when they're struggling or not feeling good on a day out, and they know there's other people who won't judge them, who will be honest with them, who will be open and transparent, and a lot of people who are similar to them.
Yeah, 100%, man. I totally agree. So, how many episodes have you done?
So the episodes I've done would be pushing just over 40 because I started 2 years ago when I was in high school, and it was my last year of high school. So I wasn't really that deep into it because I had my exams and all that. And then last year I started full-time work, so that was balancing it. But over the probably last half year, I've been deep into it, finally prioritizing it and planning where I want to get it and where I want it to go.
Yeah, right. Fuck. See, I didn't even know you've been doing it that long. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I started when I was 17, so pretty early. And even that, because that's when back then is when I first was like, okay, I'm going to put myself out there. And there's a lot of things I haven't even told my mum before, the stuff I'd gone through, my depression and anxiety. She didn't even know about that. So I pretty much put myself out there right, left, and center for anything to come at me. And there are a lot of, you've probably had the same. There's a lot of people who try to cancel you and try to get rid of what you're trying to do, the good, trying to turn the good into bad. But then I soon found out that those are the people who, in some ways, need help the most. That you actually hit them up and saying, you're a good man, and they get abusive at first, but then they say, sorry for what I did. I was a dick. I'm actually not all right. This is what's happening.
Nah, that's so good, man. So you're only 19.
Yeah, I just turned 19, start 15th of Jan. So I was there like last week.
Wow. See, that's crazy, man. I didn't even know that. Like, you've obviously, credit to you, man. Just keep knuckling down. You got a bright future ahead of you because, when I was 19, I was doing absolutely nothing. So that should spark you as a bit of motivation already, is just you can get ahead of so many people because you've started so young.
Yeah, I don't. That's funny, but I barely ever really get told that kind of thing. So just hearing that from someone like yourself, who's done as much as he has and has overcome all this, it's actually, you're right. It does spark a bit of motivation. It just keeps the mind ticking. It is not, without sounding selfish, it is nice to hear that.
Yeah, no, I mean it, man. Don't ever give in. Life's too easy to give in, and so many people do that. So just level up, get another big guest on, and I don't know, man. Just be better each day. You know what I mean?
Bro. Yeah. I'm like yourself, and I hope we can collab again in the future, man. I'm always just trying to get people with stories who I know have a powerful message behind them, which is why I was beyond grateful when you said, yeah, brother, let's tee it up.
Yeah, no, much love. That means a lot to me. And, even that gives me a bit of drive because, it means that you kind of look up to me. So it means like, why don't I just keep excelling? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a trickling effect is you just keep surrounding yourself with the right people and you just keep getting more and more motivated.
Yeah, bro, exactly. And I want to say thank you for taking the time and actually coming on here and talking to me, bro.
Anytime, bro. I can't wait for it to be released and hopefully the audience likes it.
Yeah, bro. So I'll say it on here for you and I'll say it for you guys. So just a reminder that the full video will be on the YouTube channel and I'll be posting little snippets on Instagram. So just remember, I've converted it over to the YouTube channel where you can find the full episode, and YouTube, the little snippets will be on Instagram, and you can just find the audio on the usual. So what I like to do for the last couple of minutes of the each episode, Jaxon, is just to give you your time, bro. I don't ask any more questions. I just want you to put anything out into the universe that you want to put out, anything you feel needs to be spoken about or said, and it's just your time, bro.
No, not too much, man. First of all, thanks for having me on. Yeah, appreciate it. Always love going on someone else's podcast. It means a lot. Basically, just a bit of a recap of what I've already said, but I just want you to all, everyone listening right now, like no bullshit. Just I want you to believe in yourself. You are loved. You are worth it. You are beautiful. You're your own unique self. No one is you. No one will ever be you. And I think that's such a cool thing to, come to fact that you literally are your own person in millions of people around the world, and you can control your life and dictate what you want to do with it. Yeah, you can go do drugs, or you can do this or that, but don't do it. Like it's not cool. There's so much more to life. And I think just create the life you want. So if you want to do certain things and you look up to certain people, stop procrastinating and just go and do it. And that's basically all I have to say.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, man. You shouldn't have a reason to hold yourself back from your full potential. And I fully agree with what you said. I think what you said was beyond perfect for that, bro. So once again, Jaxon, thank you for coming on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, no, much love, bro. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll obviously keep staying in touch, 100%.
Yeah, bro, for sure. And as I always say, guys, make sure you do what makes you happy. Make sure you do what you know is right and do what you need to do for yourself. I love you very much. Stay safe. Look after yourself. Look after your loved ones. Have an amazing rest of your week. And my line's always open. You know that. See you later, guys.